Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. I'm going to hook you guys up with two plays. One of them is a parlay inside of the NFL for today. And then there's another play that's a straight up play inside the NFL as well. So you're going to get two plays in the NFL for today. Yesterday, I'm going to show you very quickly. It was a 5-4 day, so it was a slight loss day because of the odds and stuff like that. But overall, what I did learn, you always want to take a look at why you lost. And the reason I feel like I lost yesterday was because I kind of forced the Cavaliers. Everything looked good. Steph Curry was out. They went against the Warriors. But I specifically made the video yesterday, and I said the Cavaliers are on a back-to-back. They're tired. Warriors are fresh. So it was a little bit of a higher risk. I'm very high-risk tolerant, but that's the reason I feel like I lost. So I have to be more careful with that stuff. So very quickly, I gave away 3 plays. Unfortunately, 2 of those 3 did not hit. This was one of the ones that did hit. The Pistons at a -9.5. You can see they did hit there by 12. So the line was actually at a 12.5. If you would have took that 12.5, you would have lost the bet. Just because I bought it back at the 9.5, that ended up hitting. 2 props for the shots on goal, that came through. Another 2 props for points, rebounds, and assists, that came through. And this one came through as well. It was 2 money lines. And then this one was a college play and NBA play as a parlay. So that came through as well. All right. So there's a huge slate today. Sundays is very busy because we have NHL, we have NFL, and then we have basketball. So I like this tool here because it gives you the leans that you should be looking at. I'm not going to take all of these, but it does give you strong plays that you should look at. So, for example, it says the Eagles -2.5. It gives you all the breakdown. The Seahawks -7, the whole breakdown. Buccaneers -8.5, the entire breakdown. And then the under right here, it's Saint Camara, which is the Saints. That's also looking on the under. So anyways, this tool gives you all that information. Same thing for basketball. If you go here, you go to sharp plays. It gives you the ones that you should be looking at right here. Again, these are not the final plays. These are just strong leans that of the reasoning why you should be looking at these games. Another very strong tool here is called the line move tool. It just gives you the entire breakdown of all the lines of what the casinos are doing. So if all the books have it, let's say, for example, a 235, and then it's currently at a 231, that's a 4-point line move in the direction of the under. So then it tells you should be looking at the strong moves on the under. So anyways, this tool is called a Sharp Edge. I've talked about this in the last 4 to 5 videos. The link is in the description for 14 days for free if you want to check this out. Like I said, it's the line move tool, NBA, and NFL. So I'm not going to get into all these details because it's a lot. And like I said, there's a lot of games today. So I'm going to kind of just give you what I really like today. So finally, before I jump into that, we do have 13 plays today already inside the VIP. So there's 9 props and then there's 5 plays. One of them is in basketball on an underplay. And then there's the rest is in the NFL. And then these are shots on goal and points, rebounds, and assists for basketball. So if you guys want access to all of this, plus the NHL that's coming up later today, make sure you check out the link in the description. You can get the free picks, VIP picks, and the Discord. We're throwing a lot of free stuff, a lot of live plays as well inside the Discord. So make sure you check that out. All right, so this was my final game card. This is the stuff that I'm going based on exactly all the information that I have for today. There was a lot of stuff that was contradicting, like there always is stuff that's contradicting. I'm going to show you that card so you can kind of take a screenshot and you can make sure you check that out. But there's always stuff to skip. And that's the most important thing in sports betting is that you look at the stuff that you should not even be looking at. And that saves a crap load of time. Instead of analyzing every single game, you look at the stuff that doesn't make sense and then just take it off the board right away. So one of those examples is Portland versus Memphis. It's a skipped game because Ja Morant is game time decision. You don't want to wait till right before the game starts to make a decision. So right away, I take it off the board. Another one is the Lakers and Philadelphia for basketball. Again, they have 4 superstars that are out. You don't want to be waiting around to see how bad the injuries affect those teams and stuff like that. So again, I just take it off the board immediately. So anyways, that's how I'm able to get a lot of stuff done because I'm able to filter out a lot of crap before I even start looking at the plays. All right, so having said that, I go back in here. Even these are not my final plays, but they're very strong leans. And then I'm going to give you guys the 2 slips that I have in football. So right now, one of the strongest plays is Philadelphia. This is sorted by confidence level. Right here, you can see 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10. So again, take a screenshot, but this gives you a simple, very quick breakdown of why. So for example, Philadelphia versus the Chargers, it's going the reverse line move. So whatever this line started at, it's going in the reverse direction where the money is at, 19% differential. The money is going against the Clippers. If you see any of my videos, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Even if I go into my the other tool here, I'm not going to get into all those details today, actually, because it's a lot of stuff. And I talk about it all the time, like the reverse line move, how to read the money, how to read the betting, all that stuff. So this is just basically, like I said, take a screenshot of this if you want to start looking at these games. I will give you 3 plays. I will give you 3 games that I really like. One of them is a parlay, and the other one is just regular. Last thing I'll mention before I get into that is these anytime touchdowns. These are just very strong leans. This does not mean that they're going to hit it today. This does not mean that I'm playing this. These are just strong indicators of strong streaks, meaning that these players have been hitting these lines dramatically. Here's the other one for the shots on goal for NHL. We post these every single day. So make sure you subscribe because we put them inside our posts. Also, make sure you click on the notification bell. That way, whenever we post these posters, you'll get the alert and you'll be able to see these strong streaks for these players. Last one I'll show is these points, rebounds, and assists. This is for basketball. For example, I would not even have taken a look at this, but look at this. Miles McBride, he's hit this 12.5 line 10 straight games in a row. Luka, he's been hitting this extreme high number, 49.5, 7 games in a row, and so on. All right, guys, like I said, make sure you take a screenshot of this. This is the stuff that I'm looking at for today. And here's the plays. I'm taking the Buccaneers on the money line. I'm also taking the Rams on the money line. If you wanted to get this down cheaper, I would consider going with the Rams at a -2.5, so that they only need to win by a field goal. The Rams should be one of the easiest games on the board for today. So again, I'm taking the Buccaneers and the Rams on the money line. The other one I'm taking here, I'm not going to go through all the talking points, but this one is Houston and KC. There's a lot of information that I have on this game, but again, I'm not going to get into all those details today because there is so much information that I don't want to overwhelm you. But anyways, I'm taking Houston and Kansas City on the under 42.5. I think it went down all the way to 41.5, but you want to buy that back to the over 42.5. The reason being that the 42 is actually considered a key number in football. You definitely want to buy it back to the under 42.5 because it's considered a key number. You don't want to take the 41.5. And the key numbers, if you don't know what that is, just Google it, but it's very simple. It just goes based on field goals and touchdowns. So like if you ever played squares, you want those numbers to end in a 7 or a 3 or a 0 for those reasons. So these are considered key numbers. So you definitely don't want the under 41.5. You want the 42.5 because of that key number. I hope that makes sense. I know it's a little hard to see, but this is the under 42.5 Kansas City and Houston. All right, guys, thank you so much, man. I give away a lot of free plays, and I showed you the posters for anytime touchdowns, points, rebounds, and assists, shots on goal, and then we give a lot of free value as well. I'm gonna start doing again like we did in baseball with the one hitters. So I'm gonna start doing that like YouTube Shorts and stuff like that. So make sure you subscribe. Let's get to 2,500 subscribers. Thank you so much. Check out the link in the description for the free plays, and our 13 plays that we have for today are inside the VIP. You can check us out for 1 day, 1 week, 6 months, or 1 month. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Let's have a great day.